Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So, welcome back to Misty Hollow. So let me show you what I've done today. I did intend to do this, and I had done it, I thought, with you driving along and seeing what I was doing. And then I was trying to make a determination of something, and I realized, as sometimes happens, I had neglected to hit the record button. And so I've been doing a lot of talking, and it's just for my benefit. So you're going to get the summary, which is good, because ultimately the decision I was trying to make, I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to run these Hobo Hollows episodes, the first couple. So you're going to get these pretty much immediately. You're going to get the move-in episode, and you're going to get this one. And you're getting this one because I want some commentary from the viewers about what I do. So what I've learned at this point is we're probably a ways away, probably this entire year, if not longer, before things really start running on the FSN website from the standpoint, the key thing I'm waiting for is auctions so that I can get more land. Because right now, as we showed in the previous episode, I'm kind of set up here. It's kind of looking like the zombie apocalypse or something. We're all kind of lined up ready to, head out of town in a convoy. But this is just all my equipment. Where I've got the Seed Hawk down there, I was doing that for some sizing and so forth, just to check some things out. I'd like to get those there's two pieces of land there. It's not one. There's two tiny little pieces that I'd like to get, and then that becomes my yard and anything else. And so what I need is input of, do I take this farm like just whole hog grass and dairy, basically? That if I bought field 24, for example, that I just keep going with more grass, I don't put any crop into it, because that obviously changes what I need on the farm. And so that's the reason I'm deciding to go ahead and basically jump off cycle, because you'll see with the episode numbers, I'm going to keep the episode numbers the way they are, because otherwise they won't make sense later when people look at them in sequence. So you're going to see some other episodes as I finish up on Shellbrook. So, think of it as a flashback, and whatever is what's going to happen for the remainder of the year. But as you can see, this is episode 191. The one before was episode 190. There's only 3 or 4 episodes that are coming out between now and the end of the year that you're going to see, just because of the timing of how things work and when the VIP series shows up and stuff like that. I wanted to get this out so that basically I want this feedback, and I want you guys to weigh in. If you're me, what would you do? Because what I can do, and if you remember what I was going to do in Shellbrook, was I was going to throw in a biogas plant and potentially a dairy production. And I can still do that. I'm still planning on doing that, but that's what started leading me down the road of, well, do I just, do a bunch of grass, turn it into silage, run it through biogas, make some money, get dairy from the cows. But I'm just kind of showing you around of what I did. So I've put the hayloft up here. I think it's easily accessible compared to Shellbrook. I can drive in and out pretty easily. And then the fermenting silo is up around the corner. So I nixed the idea of putting it here, which is what I was talking about, because I can use this pass-through as I'm working the fields a little bit easier. Now obviously the silo hangs off of that a little bit. No, I guess that was more visually. But you can see we can get here pretty easily. I had the forage wagon hooked up because I was just kind of driving around making sure everything worked and was accessible once I placed it. It is. So I'm not going to take you through all that. You'll see it well enough when we're working the farm. And then the last thing I've got is the cow barn down here. So everything is all set. And the nice thing, you can see the path where I drove before when I thought I was taking you along for the ride already. but we'll just kind of retrace steps here. So this is the side of the barn where I deliver animals and I get dairy. So pretty easy in and out. I can go through the trees here. I can, come out of the trees. I can come off the road, whatever I want. The trickier part is the silage and so forth. But as far as delivering supplies, I can come in here pretty easily. I mean, I got that tree that's a little bit wonky, but it's still far enough. I don't think I'm going to have much difficulty pulling in with the forage wagon and filling the hay, silage, and straw. There's the mineral feed goes here, and then we'll do slurry work here, and then what I determined is I can sneak out this way. And because it's a grass field, I don't have to play any games. I can just drive over it. Everything's great. So I've got some good access points there. The other decision I'm looking for feedback on is, do I just spend the money and put in adult, fully aged cows that can start producing dairy right away? And again, this all coupled together and led to the thing of, I've got this money, I've got plenty of money on the website that I can then transfer in as well. So I can go crazy with this and build this operation. All I need is a little bit of land. But I can put in a biogas plant and I can put in a dairy, and then I can just focus on silage and milk, and that becomes what I'm doing on this farm. It becomes like a full-fledged grass and dairy operation. And actually, I guess this will be episode 192. I think we go through episode 190 by the time we finally wrap things on Shellbrook, or at least kind of go into the waiting stages. So tip in the hand a little bit of what you're going to see in the next few episodes that are going to air after this. Certainly I'd like input from the viewers of, would that even be interesting if in essence this becomes a full grass operation and that becomes my main FSN farm. To do all this work, to get everything in, if you recall at the end of the last episode, I was at about 4.4 million. So this whole thing, all told, took me like $1.4 million of cost to get the 3 buildings in, get everything tidied up, make it all look good. That's what I've got. So this is just like a short, here you go, here's a tour of what I've done, because right now I'm just waiting for grass, and then tomorrow we'll be right back into grass work. But what I wanted to do is get these episodes out early, and I think it's only fair that I do the previous one, because otherwise you're just here and you don't get to see the move in, you don't get to see where we're at and so forth. And I feel that's information that might be helpful. So if you haven't watched the other episode before this one, I encourage you to go find the episode before this and watch that so that you can see all the details of where we're at, what we've got, and what I was thinking there. And then you can give me some feedback. And then what I didn't want to have happen, because otherwise neither of these episodes would have posted till after the first of the year, which is still a couple weeks away. And it's possible we'll start getting auctions and we'll start being able to make decisions and expand then, and then you can't really weigh in on things. So I want to make it a little bit more real time in this case, because now that I'm starting out brand new and we've got over 500 subscribers, thanks for that. There's 500 of you that might be getting notified of this. I want people to now, really, we've got a big enough community that people can start having input. We can start having a dialogue about what we do. And then I'm sure these will just start to spread out like they did before per the rollout schedule. But what I didn't want is to then be telling you 2 weeks from now, give me some feedback, and then I've had to have made decisions before that, and then you suddenly realize 3 or 4 episodes after that, I asked you for feedback in episode 192, but I had to make a decision and it didn't matter. That doesn't help for community engagement, and I'm certainly not looking to do that. So I'm kind of posting these off schedule a bit, just so that we can try to get a little bit more live feedback. Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say, and I'll see you next time.